I watched my mom clean houses so I could dream bigger. When I was 9, I thought my mom worked in big houses. That's what she told me. Every morning before the sun came up, she'd leave our tiny apartment in South Dallas with a thermos of coffee and her hair tied back tight. She smelled like bleach and cheap lavender lotion when she came home. I used to think that was just her perfume. It wasn't until 5th grade that I realized what she actually did. Career day. Kids brought their dads in suits, moms in scrubs, police uniforms. One girl's dad was a lawyer and handed out business cards like candy. When my teacher asked what my mom did, I said proudly, "She works in big houses." The class laughed. "Like, a maid?" someone said. I didn't know why, but the word felt like a punch. That afternoon, I walked home instead of taking the bus. I found my mom in someone else's kitchen, on her knees, scrubbing tile floors. The house was huge. White marble counters, a chandelier that probably cost more than our rent for a year. She looked up and smiled like she'd just won the lottery. "Why are you here so early, baby?" I didn't tell her what happened. I just grabbed the sponge and started scrubbing next to her. She stopped me immediately. "No," she said softly. "You don't clean floors. You build a life where someone else cleans yours." That night, she worked an extra house, and the next week, another one. I started noticing things. The cracks in her hands, the way she winced when she stood up, the envelope she hid in a cookie tin, money for college fund, written in Sharpie. In high school, I got into a state university. Not Harvard University, not Stanford University, just a regular public school. But when I opened that acceptance email, my mom cried like I'd just been drafted into the National Football League. She picked up 3 extra clients that year. I begged her to stop. "I can take loans," I said. She shook her head. "I didn't cross the border so you could start life in debt." She never told me the full story about that night she came to America. Just that it was cold, and she was scared, and she promised herself her kid would never feel that fear. My sophomore year of college, she stopped answering my calls. A neighbor finally picked up and said she'd fainted at work. Exhaustion. Dehydration. Severe overwork, the doctor said. I sat in that hospital room staring at her IV drip, at the same hands that had scrubbed strangers' bathtubs for 15 years. Hands that packed my lunches, hands that never once bought themselves anything new. And for the first time, I felt angry. Angry at the people who left messes for her. Angry at a system that calls it unskilled labor. Angry that she thought her worth was measured in how much she could sacrifice. After she recovered, I got a part-time job. Took loans anyway. Graduated. Found work in tech. Last month, I signed papers on a small house. Nothing fancy. No chandelier. No marble floors. But when I handed her the keys, she didn't cry this time. She just walked into the kitchen, ran her fingers across the counter and whispered, "You won." And I realized something. She was never just cleaning houses. She was building one. So here's my question. Why do we only celebrate the person who crosses the finish line and not the one who carried them the entire race?